proponent of agriculture in New York State, and there's a need for jobs in the middle of the state. Why is he so against at least hemp production?
Well, I don't know that he's against hemp production. We actually have a demonstration program up and running in New York on hemp production. I think it probably goes about as far as the federal law allows. The governor's attitude on medical marijuana, I really do not understand. You know, I get about a dozen press releases in my email every day from the governor's office. It seems like hardly a day goes by when one of them isn't the governor promoting New York-based hard cider, beer, and wine. And every so often I forward one of those press releases to the health commissioner. And I say, you know, so, you know, we all know about how, you know, alcohol can kill you and addict people, you know, time to lighten up on medical marijuana. I don't know whether my forwarding of those releases to him has had any good effect. It makes me feel better.
Has anybody from the health department been willing to participate in public forums like this? I have not seen that myself. Any, Fred? Yes? Yes? Okay. Questions?
I have a question, having worked with cannabis and cancer, cannabis and anxiety and pain, and I work for...
Speak a little louder, please.
I work for a major medical center here in New York, and I understand the importance of research. And I'm wondering, where do we advocate? Where does the energy go? I know federally, you're not going to get money from the federal government to do research, but we have 29 states so is there money? That's what I'm asking. Is there money for research from the states? Because there's a lot to learn from this very intelligent plant, a lot to learn. And I don't know that we're learning it kind of haphazardly as we go along, but with some direction and some money behind it, I think it would be astounding.
One thing I can say, and then I'll throw it to the panel, is that one thing President Obama did do, as far as I understand, is he lifted one of the barriers to researching cannabis towards the end of last year. That was a huge hurdle because that barrier was in place for no other drugs but cannabis. You could study heroin easier than you could study cannabis, and that was lifted. And in conjunction with that, the University of Mississippi had a very small cannabis grow, and they have now a much larger grow space available for research. So I do think that's coming at the federal level, but do you guys have any idea from the state?
So we dealt with this. When I was with the pharmaceutical company that licensed the 507 patent, we ran across this issue called the NIDA monopoly. It was basically where the FDA had given a GMP status, good manufacturing practices status, to the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, and they wouldn't give that status to anybody else. No other company in the country could get that status. You have to have that status to use the products in trials. A company called MAPS filed a lawsuit against National Institute of Health and NIDA, and they effectively, without even going to court, they broke the NIDA monopoly. So now it's to a point where us as cannabis manufacturers, if we jump through all of the hurdles, go through all the loopholes, we can actually get that GMP certificate, the status that we need to use our own products and research studies, where before we were forced to get it from University of Mississippi, and that is gone. We don't have to do that anymore.
All right, I want to make sure we have some time for everybody to socialize and network, and it's coming on 10:20, so I want to go with two more questions, and let's please make them quick without the very long commentary. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, so this is actually a question from someone else. The question is, what progress are we making on getting private insurance companies, health insurance companies, to allow their patients to be covered for medical cannabis, either, I guess, state by state or nationally? What can you guys say about that?
I can tell you I'm gravely worried about how we're going to make any progress on that as long as it's a Schedule 1, because then there's no federal requirement. I'm having a hard time seeing a way around that. I think maybe some individual insurers will kind of, be outliers and reach out to their policyholders on that. But I'm gravely concerned how we do it without re-review scheduling.
I've actually seen Blue Cross Blue Shield pay for cannabis products.
Oh, really?
So what happened was there's a company in California, Southern California, and they hired a consultant, and I had the pleasure of working with this consultant, and it's all about billing codes. So she found a billing code that basically described all pharmaceutical options have been expired, this is a life-threatening illness. If the insurance provider doesn't pay for this product, then they could face a lawsuit. Blue Cross Blue Shield paid for the product. They paid for the THC bill.